What was it like growing up in Japan?
Ah, it was wonderful. It
Oh
was
man.
wonderful. Yeah. Well, I grew up in the countryside. I
Oh.
mean, like in the mountains. So, uh, it was a very, very small community of
Mm.
probably 47 homes or something in the mountains. And I think,
Mama kungi betengo we kumoyi ingumada takana okyo sokinu kibangase Manuele ngando mushisamye Manuele Manuele.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 44 of the Two Left Feet podcast. Today we had on the show the amazing Mayumi. She's born and raised in Japan and moved to the States when she was, as an adult. Really cool episode because Mayumi at one point lived in New Orleans, and she is an amazing follow. I had the opportunity to dance with her numerous times, so to get her on the show was amazing. A wonderful follow in pretty much any dance. I did Kizomba with her, but I'm telling you, man, she can follow so amazing. Great episode, a lot of value in it. I know you're gonna enjoy it.
Hey, so I am now on the line with Miss Mayumi, who is a dear friend of mine when she used to live in New Orleans, Louisiana. One of my previous instructors.
yeah, hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing well. I'm
That's
doing
awesome.
well. Yes,
So hold on. I believe you were born in Japan. Is that correct?
yes, yes.
Hey, and you currently so yeah, at one point you lived in New Orleans, Louisiana, but now you
Hmm.
currently reside in Tennessee. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's awesome. I want to start this out, Mayumi. I don't think I ever had a chance to ask you, what was it like growing up in Japan?
Ah, it was wonderful. It
Oh
was
man.
wonderful. Yeah. Well, I grew up in the countryside. I
Oh.
mean, like in the mountains. So, uh, it was a very, very small community of
Mm.
probably 47 homes or something in the mountains. And I think most of the neighbors were farmers.
Ah.
My father was not, but pretty much everybody else was farming. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Tell me, what was your childhood like? Well, tell me first. What part of Japan are you from?
From it's in Hamamatsu City right now,
Okay.
but it used to be called Hamakita,
Okay.
Shizuoka
Okay.
Prefecture. It's central Japan.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
tell me, what was it? What was your childhood like growing up in your central Japan? Hamamacha.
Hamamatsu. Okay,
Hamamatsu.
Hamamatsu. Well, because we grew up in the mountains, it was fun. I mean, we walked to school. And we never went back home straight, right? We would wander off to rice fields, to the rivers and the mountains to pick flowers, to catch fish or whatever. It was fun. It was fun.
Awesome. That's awesome. So I'm curious. Did you grow up in like a dancing household, or did your parents dance or anything?
Nope.
Wow. Wow.
No, not at all, because of the uh, remoteness from the big city.
Ah.
I mean, we didn't have any dancing at all. I mean, that's not true actually. Not Western kind of dancing.
Okay.
In the summer, we would have village festival, and then we would learn the Japanese kind of dance, but probably once a year. And also in schools, grammar schools, we would have athletic day on October 10th normally, and then they would teach us how to do some dance, Japanese dance or folk dance or whatever. That's about it.
Okay. 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 I understand that. So you're growing up in Japan. Um, What did I guess what did you want to be growing up?
Oh, well, that changed from year to year,
Okay,
right?
sure enough.
But I would say by high school, I thought I wanted to become uh, a filmmaker.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to work for Kurosawa.
What is cross hour?
Kurosawa, Akira Kurosawa is a Japanese filmmaker who won at least two Oscars,
Oh
for foreign
wow.
language. So you've heard of Seven Samurai, Rashomon,
Okay.
and all those. Yeah, you should watch them. He's just amazing. So I wanted to work for him eventually.
Uh
He was up in age, so he
huh.
passed away.
Okay, unfortunate. I
Yeah,
understand. Well,
yeah.
and so I'm curious. What were you just a fan of what he was doing, or were you more so drawn to like films and all that?
Say that again.
I said, were you more so a fan of his, or
Oh
were you more
yeah.
so, or were you more so like just a fan of movies and films, or a little bit of both?
Um, First of all, I was a big fan of his films,
Okay.
and he was the world he depicts is a very ethical,
Ah.
old, old Japanese ethics, the way, the samurai way of thinking.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah. So it was clean and it's touching and it's funny, it's sad, it's exciting, it's all of that. And
Okay.
then I wanted to actually work for the production and also the distribution of his movies to the world.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So please, real quick, give me do you have two of his favorite films? Like, what are your favorite films by him? What do I need to check out?
Seven Samurai.
Okay. And is
Uh,
that a TV show or a movie? What is it?
Movie.
Okay.
Yeah. And that became the basis for the Magnificent Seven later.
I feel that
Yeah.
both of those sound very familiar, but I can't say I've seen them.
It's really old. That's why.
Oh, I'll
Um,
definitely check it out.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's timeless film.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. I'll definitely check it out.
And then another film I would say is Derusu Uzala. It's it was in cooperation with Russia. I think they
Mm.
made a film uh, with Russia's cooperation, and it was a very touching old man, uh, and it's about his life. And I would say these are the two favorite movies of
Okay,
Kurosawa's.
okay, I'll definitely check them. I definitely will. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. So tell me. So I know you're growing up in Japan. At what point? I guess when did you come to America? Like what made you leave Japan and come to America, or did like was it
Well,
school or?
yeah. I went. See, I wanted to study filmmaking
Ah.
in Los Angeles, so
Ah.
I went to Los Angeles to study in a college. Um, so that's I was young, well, young enough. I mean, 21, I guess, when I went. And but before I finished my degrees, of course, Kurosawa was really up in age. Also, I got married. And so I moved up to Northern California. Yeah, so after that, I was really busy raising
Ah.
boys, three boys.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know you had children. Actually, I did not know that.
Yeah, three boys.
Okay, so no. Okay, so you come down to California. You're in school and everything.
Yeah.
Did you start dancing in Cali at all, or?
No, actually, uh, the Western kind of dancing, right?
Uh-huh.
My introduction to Western kind of dancing was in Tokyo. After
Oh,
high school, I went to an English language school before going to Los Angeles, right?
okay.
And then one of the English instructors was from America, and he taught us ballroom dancing after
Oh.
school. So I got exposed a little bit. Yes, it was
So
fun.
hey, so tell me.
Hey, if you could leave like and subscribe for this video, that would be amazing for the channel. Let's get
It
back
was
to
So
this
fun.
episode.
hey, so tell me, what was it like learning ballroom?
It was fun because I always, even though I never had the chance to go to any class growing up, my only source of information, right, uh, on what's what's happening in the world was through television
Ah, right.
or magazines or newspapers. So when I mean Japan is great because it's an island country. They try
Yeah.
to get as much information as possible from everywhere in the world. So I was exposed to world music, not just American, but South America, Africa, Europe, you know,
Yeah.
and including dancing actually. So I was just glued to TV. Why I want to dance like that, but it was just a dream. But I was
Uh-huh.
dance, right? And then for the first time, I mean, somebody taught the students how to do ballroom. So it was
Ah.
really fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
That's awesome. Tell me, what was Tokyo like?
Tokyo. Um, it's uh, it's exciting.
Hey.
So many people.
I said that's a big city, right? From
It's
where you come
it's
from.
huge. It's huge. I know. Yeah, it was fun. Even though I mean, I'm telling you, it was fun growing up in the countryside. When I
Ah.
was growing up, I couldn't wait to leave that community and go to a
Oh.
big city. And only after, I guess I matured, I said, wow, I had everything growing up. So it's like
Okay.
looking back, you
Ye-
appreciate what you have.
right. Yeah, I definitely understand that. I definitely
Yeah.
understand that. So
But
you
Tokyo was interesting. I mean, you do have everything. You do have
right?
everything. Uh, so I started going to church, English speaking church in Tokyo, and I met so many people from all over the world,
Yeah.
and it was fun. And I went disco dancing, and I went to concerts and movies, all night movies, and all
Okay.
that. It's fun.
Okay, that's
And I
awesome.
studied also. Yes.
Of course, I know you did. I know you had to. So tell me, you go to Tokyo, you're introduced to ballroom, and
Yeah.
then eventually you come to California,
Yeah.
and then you move to Northern California. Do you I guess after you're introduced to ballroom in Tokyo, do you continue to dance it, or is it just like a one time thing in Tokyo?
Well, after I got, yeah, after I had children, actually, I was a full-time, stay-home mom for 3 kids. I mean, you know what it's like,
That's busy. You were
one
very busy.
plus three, right? I mean, times three. Uh, so I really didn't have the time or money
Right.
to take any lessons, but that's only after I think um, I got divorced. I started taking privates,
Okay.
ballroom dancing.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was fun. It was really
Yeah.
fun. I
Uh,
mean, it's like when you are down, you know, having to go through divorce and you
serious. Yeah.
As a single mom, you have to work full time,
Yeah.
but but um, you have to do something for yourself. Otherwise, you know, you can't even raise children. You have to,
Right.
in order to give something to my children, I
Uh-huh.
had to get something in my own bank first.
Yeah.
Dance was a really good way of expressing my feelings
Yes.
and emotions, and that's why I did go to privates every single week.
I understand that. I didn't know that you had to go through that, Mayumi. But I want to ask you this: I, how, how, or I guess like, why do you think? How did dancing help you through that tough time? You say you were able to express your emotions and everything. It was kind of like an outlet for you. Is that what it was?
Yeah. Well, when you don't want a divorce yourself,
Okay.
when your spouse files for divorce, it just happens in America.
Yeah.
One person files for it and it happens. Unlike in Japan, two people have to sign it, right?
Oh.
But in America, just one person files, and then it will have to happen.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like my confidence was down.
You're in
So
a new
who am I?
country.
Am I, you know,
Yeah.
that bad? Am I that I'm not attractive? I mean, am I a bad person? And all these things, right?
Yeah. Of
But
course.
yeah, but um, going to dance, it's physical first of all, right? You get to use some of your energy
Yeah.
into something positive,
Yeah.
right? Instead of moping around at home.
Right.
And my instructor was very kind, a young man, but really technically, you know, really skilled.
Okay.
And he was a nice person to encourage me through tough times. If I run out of time, cannot take private lessons, I said, okay, you come back when you have money and things like that. A lot of encouragement. And also from, well, it's just through privates, but when you go to socials, his socials, you get to meet all kinds of people,
Yeah.
right? And you really encourage, one another. And that's really important. That was
Yeah.
really precious to me. Yeah.
I definitely
That
understand that.
helped me tremendously because I would go to socials and uh, just cry dancing.
Oh.
I mean, it's that I would be crying at home,
I
but
understand.
I decide to go to a social, and then some, romantic songs, the sappy songs play, and then, oh no, do you think about your own life, and then you start
Right,
crying,
right.
right? But so I danced through all these emotions. But and at the end, I was always glad that I did go to socials because it's not good to stay around
Right. Just
and
mope.
move
Just
around by yourself.
right, right.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this. Well, I want to for the people who don't know, Mayumi, you are easily one of the best followers I've danced with. So you are an
Oh,
amazing follow.
oh, thank you. You know what? When you first came to New Orleans and when you first showed up in our class, you were great already because you were so humble. You
Okay.
were so humble and you have the rhythm. I mean, even though you didn't have too many difficult steps, but still you are gentle
Okay.
and and you have the you know, I don't know, smoothness in you.
I
And then
appreciate it.
the thing is that when you kind of messed up, you would always say, "Oh, sorry," you know, it's my fault. It's
It's always
never
Elite's fault.
mind.
It's always
But
Elite's fault.
well, that I don't know. But, but it's not always so. But it's nice for a lady to hear that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because it means that the leader, just is ready to admit what he's done wrong.
Okay.
The next time he will do it right, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also thinking about your partner.
So true.
Yeah, it's all about relationships. I mean, he
Yeah.
apologizes, and then we say it's okay,
Huh?
and it's great. You were so good
Yeah, I
in that.
mean, you were like I said, you could go back and forth on this all day, but you were an amazing follower, and you were always so nice as well, Mayumi. Um,
Oh, thank
of course, of course. We're talking about the classes that in New Orleans. I would go to your class with Peter, and I would go to your Kizuma classes.
you.
That's the class we're speaking of. But tell me about this. I want to ask you this. Going back to that tough time.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think kept you going during that tough time? Was it just the dance classes, or was it something more? Was it your kids, or
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of things. I mean, I
okay,
had a lot of support systems.
awesome,
Fortunately, it was through my kids. I couldn't give up because if I, gave up, I mean, the children
right?
would see me
They
and they
depended on you,
wouldn't have a role model, right?
right?
So I had to keep going. And also, the dance community gave me a lot of support, and the
Awesome.
church gave me a lot of support. And I had a lot. And the little Japanese community in Santa Cruz, California,
Okay, that's awesome.
that they're awesome too. And my flower arrangement class, I mean, I've been studying Japanese flower arrangement. It's called ikebana
Okay.
for let's see, 27
Oh wow.
years.
Oh
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
I teach too. I can teach too, but
Oh.
these um, people, fellow students and the professor, they all supported me. So
Okay.
it's not
Yeah.
just one thing,
Mhm.
but dancing was a big part of it too.
Okay, I understand that definitely. I wanna I also wanna give a shout out to your ballroom professor. Who were you taking privates with?
Oh, in Santa Cruz, when I first started private, it was Jeremy Pilling, and
Okay.
he's an amazing dancer and instructor, and his students are doing really well. And when I moved to New Orleans, uh, it was Stefan from
That sounds familiar.
Stefan Howard. They have a studio, and I think they have had some salsa and bachata socials there too.
Okay.
Starlight
Yes. Okay, I know Starlight definitely. I
in
said
Metairie.
yeah. Okay, I bet that sounds familiar. I definitely know. I've been to
Yeah,
Starlight
Stefan
definitely.
Howard was my instructor in New Orleans, and
Oh.
now I have a new one in Tennessee.
Ah. So hold on. I want to ask you this though. So you live in Santa Cruz. Where do you move to after that?
I moved to the Silicon Valley
Ah.
in California for a
I,
while,
okay.
and yeah, that's before going to New Orleans. Yeah,
Okay. What brought you? Why did you go to Silicon Valley? What brought you out there?
I thought there would be more job opportunities in
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you
It
so you
was
go
a
to
lot of people. Oh, that you know what? Even though I could commute from Santa Cruz to all these dance venues, but the Silicon Valley has so many dance venues, and
Oh.
that's where I started going to salsa socials
Oh, okay.
because it's so complicated. Salsa moves are so complicated, right?
Yes, yes.
Go to socials, and then during the salsa social, I heard the bachata music, and I said,
Okay.
"Oh, I like it." I like it. And then during the salsa bachata socials, I heard kizomba music for the
Okay.
first time. I said,
Okay.
"Oh my goodness, I like it even more." That's the progression.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to ask you this. I want to go through the progression of all of them, but tell me, what was it like for you first learning salsa? What were those beginning stages like?
Oh, I mean, it's okay. So I learned salsa from my ballroom teacher first.
Ah.
So he was great in rhythm. So he's a mambo champion, right? So
Oh
mambo is,
wow.
yeah, it's like the starting on two, right?
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
yeah. So even though he's great, I wasn't great, right? And so I thought I should just go to more socials to learn more and to learn all these intricate moves
Uh-huh.
because you dance well when you dance with your instructor, but you can't always dance with your instructor,
Yeah, exactly.
so you have to learn to adjust
Right.
to,
That's the hard part of being a follow, right?
yeah, yeah, to anybody really. Good
Mm.
dancers, mediocre dancers, beginning
Yeah.
dance. That's how you learn, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
would say I was
it was not easy.
of course.
Yeah, I was always tense. So
Okay.
people would say, "Relax, relax."
It's so
Yeah.
crazy to hear you say that because I only know you from I guess when you were the master that you were in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. Kizomba taught me how to relax. Really.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
Because it's partly because we face each other in a very close
yeah,
proximity,
yeah,
right? It's not like the point of contact is your hand. It's not like
yeah.
that, but it's closer even. So you can, I mean, of course, even at the beginning of, you know, dancing kizomba, I was really tense because I was dancing with this international instructor. Of
Uh-huh.
course, you get tense, right? You don't want to
Yeah.
make mistakes, but then you learn to relax
Mhm.
eventually. So,
Yeah, yeah, so true. I
yeah.
was gonna say, I think in my opinion, I feel like follows have more of a difficult job just because you have to adapt to every new lead every time. And
Ah, I don't know. I'm glad you say that, but when I was moving from California to New Orleans, Louisiana, I was told that I've never heard of Kizomba in New Orleans, so I
uh,
panicked. What? So I I took my first private lesson in Kizomba from David Campos and Gida Ray from New York
yeah.
to how to lead.
Ah,
Yeah, how to lead, because if you go to a place where there are no leads in Kizomba,
you gotta
you
teach it.
kind of have to learn how to lead too, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's still difficult for me. So I wouldn't say follow is more difficult because uh, after I attempted to learn how to lead, I know how difficult it is to lead. It is very difficult because you have to think ahead,
Yeah,
and it's but the trust part, the relax part, it goes both ways.
I
It's
believe
not
it.
just yeah, it's not just the follower, but the leader has to relax too.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's so true.
but in your head, you still have to keep thinking.
That's so true.
Because I mean, it's like, yeah, when you get used to Kizomba, you think that, oh, I can do the same movement, same
Uh-huh.
move, same trick all the time, but that's not interesting, right?
No, no.
You hear the music, it how you express what you hear with
Yeah,
your movement should be different
of course. Well,
each time, right?
yeah, of
So,
course.
in that sense, I mean, the leader has to be thinking all the time.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think what happens is I can just only speak obviously from my personal experience, but as I've gotten better,
yeah,
um, it's like I get into this flow state to
yeah,
where you know uh, the music dictates everything. So you definitely cannot just do the same things over and over.
right,
But I believe like I get into this flow state where it's not so much me thinking ahead,
right.
but me more so reacting to the music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes,
I'm not thinking like, okay, I'm gonna do this next. It's just like,
right.
just it's in that flow state reacting. So yeah.
That's good. That's great. That's great to hear because you have this, y- you know, so you're relaxed in
Okay.
general, in
Okay.
general. So you don't try to impress your partner with your tricks.
Okay.
So
I
you
don't
are
have a
more
lot of tricks. So
accommodating. You are accommodating. So it's like it's like even when you are trying to adjust to each music that you hear, you have this room, cool, room to adjust. It's not like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, and then the follower will feel that,
of course,
right?
they feel everything. You're gonna feel everything.
Yeah. So when you are relaxed, we
Mhm.
can relax.
Yeah, so true. That's
Yeah.
so true.
So that's why you are a great dancer because you make your follower feel warm and relaxed. Yeah,
I appreciate those kind words, Mayumi.
really, really, really. Because I'm telling you, because when I was in California, I started learning Kizomba in 2012,
Hey.
and and it was just starting in California and the U.S. also, and because of the location, the promoters, Nika and Emil in Oakland, California, they were able to invite really great instructors one
Oh.
after another.
Oh, that's so awesome.
It's really great. I mean, it's really like a father of Kizomba, Mr. Pechu.
Oh, that's awesome. You got to dance with Petchu. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And Yami and Steffi.
I'm trying to have them on the show, but I definitely know them. Great
Yami and
talent.
Steffi, they were still together.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I took
Wenda
a class
Lima,
with them in Houston. Wenda Lima.
yeah,
I know Wenda.
Wenda
Yeah.
Lima,
Yeah.
and Albir and
Yes.
Sarah Lopez together.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and Simeon Mopao and Simeon came to New Orleans like 2 summers ago
Wow.
for a workshop, and David Campos and Gida
Yeah,
Ray
yeah.
and Ivo Vieira, Tony Pirata, and
I,
all
j- I,
these
I just
people.
interviewed Ivo Vieira.
Oh, he's great. He
Yeah,
is
I just
such a
interviewed him.
sweetheart.
I'm gonna see that episode when I put it out.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
Yes.
Um, um, all these people came, so I took all the workshops. It was
Yeah.
fun. It was fun. But I would say what impressed me the most is that it doesn't matter how skilled you are as a dancer or
Huh?
even as an instructor, uh, especially when you demonstrate, you know, your skills, your dance with
Yeah.
your teaching partner in a workshop. Um, During the social, all these women, oh, I want to dance with that instructor, and that's, I would say, right away, if the instructor agrees to dance with you, you stand, face to face at the
Yeah.
beginning of a song,
Yeah.
and then get into the embrace, posture. At that point, I knew who was going to be accepting and who was not.
Ah.
Right away. So it's like, e- and of course, as followers, even as a student, we always liked to dance with somebody who accepts you
Of
immediately,
course. Of
even before you
course.
start dancing. I mean, it's
Yes.
like, you know, it's like I'm not, I'm short, I'm tiny, and I'm not, young, and I'm not wearing, body hugging
Yeah,
mini
yeah,
skirt.
yeah.
I don't do that. But still, some instructors accept me right away, even
Okay.
before we started dancing, and that was huge.
Of course.
So, because without um, any spoken words, you're accepted, and then that was great. So I want to, you know, reciprocate. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I want to show that to other people that I dance with. Yeah, what I
yeah.
learned.
I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
What do you think? What was different between the people who you feel like accepted you and didn't accept you? And I asked, for tips. How can we as leads get better at that? What was the difference you felt?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know what to say because one instructor that I felt was a little unfriendly. I mean,
I understand.
not friendly enough like many, many years ago.
Uh huh.
And years later, I got to dance with him again. He was much better.
Okay.
So he was more accepting and he was smiling, So anybody can make a change, but I think
Yeah.
it just depends on the person.
Okay.
If he grows as a person, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, you are not you are not a big shot. I
Uh
mean,
huh.
there is always somebody better,
Of course. Of course.
you know. I mean, your job is not to show off what you know. Your job as social is to make your partner feel good
Yeah.
for the next
Exactly.
3 minutes, right?
Yes.
So if you learn how to do that, I mean, you'll be a great leader, great follower.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many Kizomba snobs.
Okay. I think that's just
Or
in the
in any
dancing.
dance.
In
Yeah,
exactly,
in
it's
any
any dance. Exactly. Exactly.
dance. Yeah. So I don't know, as a person, if you grow, you'll grow as a leader too.
Okay. Okay. Sure. No. I think there's like so many points you make. I think sometimes you might could just catch somebody at the wrong time, and they'll have a bad dance.
Exact. That can
And
happen. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, and like you said, they grow as a person. You know that happens as well. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think you speak a lot of truth. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you are an excellent follow. Um, give me some tips for follows. How can follows create a great dance for their lead?
Yeah. This is what I had to learn because the word follow, especially, I mean, growing up in Japan, right? A woman walks 3 steps behind a man, da, 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 da. So
Oh,
that was my understanding of follow, right? And of course, in any other dance, I mean, the leader has to initiate the move.
right, right, right.
So it's like I thought that they did more work, the lead did more work, and we just tag along.
Uh huh.
But I did learn that it's not true
Oh,
because
what you mean?
I mean, if you go to a salsa class and salsa social,
Uh huh.
and then if you just play one kizomba song, and probably most of the salsa dancers are not familiar with kizomba,
Hmm.
right? And if you try to lead some salsa dancer, they can follow to a certain extent, but they cannot follow everything, right?
Right, right, right.
Yeah. So that means that proves that they have to know, they have to study also. It's not
Yeah.
just that, oh, if the lead is good, I can do anything without going to classes.
So
That's not
true.
true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's like, and also, what lead does is just directs you and initiates a
Yeah,
move.
yeah.
So directing meaning that if you turn this way, I keep going that way until I'm told to stop
Right,
or
right,
change directions. But until then, that movement to go forward on your own, that's my thing. I
yeah,
have to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like the lead has the power, more
Right.
power,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
follower
yeah.
less. It's not like that, but it has to be equal.
Yeah. My girl,
Yeah.
my
We
girl
have to
says,
do our job.
yeah. My
Yeah.
girl, she says the lead is offering a suggestion, and it's up
Right.
to the follow if she wants to
Yes.
follow it or not. And
Yes.
I also want to say, yeah, 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 definitely. I was gonna say one more thing too. Shucks, I forgot it though. I was gonna say, oh, I
I mean,
forgot it.
sometimes you might suggest something, but we might not get the suggestion,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
So
So
we just
true.
do our own thing.
Yeah.
But after we make a mistake, what do you do as a leader, right? Oh, just let go.
Uh
It's
huh.
just a minor mistake. It's just
Exactly.
a
So true.
social,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah. It's
Just
it's not life or death.
abort, and do the next.
I was gonna say. I remember. I was gonna say. Going back to what you're saying about a salsa person not being able to dance, kizumba or follow kizumba. Um,
Not
for one,
completely.
yeah,
Yeah,
completely, exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
It's a different dance style, and thus each dance style, has its own set of rules. Correct.
yeah, yeah.
So that's why you need to like go to those classes to learn the rules of that dance. Correct.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I definitely
Yeah, that's
understand.
really important because when I was in California, because of this hot shot instructors from Europe were coming to California, and when the social time came, it's like there were so many young salsa dancers who came only to the socials, and they don't take the
Oh,
during you know the day. And we knew who these people were
right.
because
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
interested in the instructor, and they thought that they can just
Follow.
wing it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they just move your bunda in a certain way,
Yeah.
you can follow it. No,
It,
no, but
it's more than that.
oh, a lot more than that. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Yeah. So true. Oh, man, I keep forgetting the questions. Yeah. Dang it. So, you're taking privates. Or no, you're taking. You have all these wonderful teachers in California. Tell me, what was it like for you? Well, let's go back to bachata. You said salsa, bachata, and kizomba. We're gonna get to kizomba. What was it like
Yeah.
for you first learning bachata? What was that like?
To me, bachata, it was less complicated than salsa,
Okay, yeah, I can understand that. It's
but
it's more
I like the
simple.
music. I
Uh huh.
like the music.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Was it but tell me, what was it like first learning it? It's just more simple. Did you get it quicker, more easy?
No, I think that I can relate uh, better to the music.
Uh.
I mean, I don't, take me wrong. I mean, I like salsa music too, but it's so complicated. There are so many instruments going,
Yeah, yeah,
and sometimes veteran salsa dancers, wait a second, where's the rhythm? Sometimes you have to think still
yeah,
because there are
definitely.
so many instruments going at different times, right? So you
Yes.
have to really listen. But
Yeah.
me, bachata was easier to recognize the rhythm, and also it's
Okay,
just,
right.
yeah,
I definitely understand that. I definitely
yeah.
understand, and I agree with you. Yeah, which actually is easier to. I mean, I'll say in my opinion, it was just easier to learn to pick up the rhythm. I think that's the big thing is picking up the
Mm-hmm.
rhythm and noticing it. It's a
Yeah,
lot easier. Definitely
yeah,
understand that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you're taking all these amazing classes in California. What what brought you to New Orleans?
Oh, it was my my boyfriend was
Okay,
in New York, so I
okay,
moved here. Yeah,
okay. And
yeah.
so tell me, what was it like coming to New Orleans? How was that like for you?
Oh, it was interesting. I mean, I love the history. I love the food. I love the
Okay.
people. They are so friendly, really friendly.
Yeah.
Yes. And, but I did panic because, I mean, there was really practically no Kizomba.
Okay. So you at
They,
that point you have fallen in love with Kizumba.
yeah,
Okay.
yes, yes. So I really did panic. And, Sergio,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're
Of
like,
course. We've had
yeah,
him on the show. I don't know if you've seen it or yet.
yeah, yes, yes, I did, I did.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
So I tapped into, you know, the possibility of teaching Kizomba together with Sergio, and we did. And he was my first teaching partner.
I never knew that. I didn't know y'all talk together.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah,
And so
yeah. And it was fun.
Sergio's an amazing dancer. I already know that. I already
He
knew
is,
that.
he is. Oh,
He's so
he's
good.
a great guy. Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
the
So
high school teacher
right,
who,
teacher by day, dance teacher by
yeah,
night. And,
yes.
and I think that's what makes him such uh what makes him such an amazing teacher as well as person. His full time, what he does every day, Monday through Sunday, is teach. That's what he does. So you can be an amazing dancer but be
Hmm.
unable to teach it. So teaching is
Correct.
100. It's a skill, correct?
Well, that's something you have to learn. I mean,
Yes.
it's like anything in life. You learn something, you like something very much, and after, you know, just a short period of time, you think you know it. You think you're
Uh-huh.
so good
You
at
get
it.
confident.
And yeah,
That ego,
and
yeah.
you start teaching, right? And that's okay as long as you keep learning.
Right. Always be a student.
a trade. Yeah. I mean, it's like you have to start somewhere, right?
Right. Right.
So at the beginning, you can be, like a poor teacher, but you learn from mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So we grow with the students,
true. Yeah. So it's
Nobody
like
is a perfect teacher from the beginning. So,
right, right. It's like it's a two-part system. So yeah, the teacher and the student are both equally learning from each other,
oh, you
right?
know what? And teachers do learn a lot from students.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah,
I definitely understand that. So
yeah.
so tell me, I know you said you learned from David Campos up in New York. What was it like for you learning to lead? What was that like?
It was difficult. Okay, many people said, "Oh, you are too tiny. It's
Oh,
gonna be really difficult for you to lead because you are just tiny, right?" And it might be true, but Rikita,
of course, I've had her on the show as well, Miss Alta.
yeah, yeah. We were in Houston together
Yep.
when Rikita was there. Remember?
Okay. Oh, of course,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
And then Rikita is quite tiny too.
Sure enough. Yep.
Yeah.
But she
And
can
then
lead
she's
perfectly fine.
teaching. Not,
Yeah.
it's not. I'm not comparing myself to her, but
Hmm.
my body size wise, I mean, we are
Which
kind of
it show you it's
similar.
possible. It's possible to do it.
Yeah, yeah. What David and Gita taught me in my first lesson as a leader is that you have to be more
Okay.
assertive, and show your intention.
Right. Right.
And somebody else told me earlier on that he was a Kizomba teacher as well as an Argentine tango teacher. He said, you know what? Don't be afraid to make mistakes. If you
Okay.
make mistakes, do it with confidence. If
Yeah.
you hesitate, the the follower
They're gonna feel it. They feel
doesn't know
everything.
what to do. You
Yeah.
have to stop, right? So
Right.
even if you make mistakes, do it with confidence. They will follow you in
Yeah.
any states, right? And then
Definitely.
next time the leader will know probably.
Right. Right.
The
Right.
probably the leader is happy. Okay, even though I made a mistake, she followed me, and that builds trust. Okay, I'll do better. So
Yeah.
it builds a relationship. Yeah.
Definitely. That's social dancing with a partner. It's a conversation, and it's a big part of it is trust. The father, pretty much both parties trusting each other. It's speaking without words. So I definitely understand that.
It's not, yeah, you know what? To some people, it's not easy
Yeah.
because I once had a female student in New Orleans who is really intelligent, a great dancer, but she says, you know what? I have a trust issue
Yeah, I understand.
when she's dancing. So because she's so independent, she she found it difficult to let
Okay.
go of your ego, let go of your
Right.
knowledge, let go of what you think should happen.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
I definitely understand.
but she learned. But she
Okay.
learned to follow. Yes.
Yeah. I would say as a follow, I'm sorry, as a lead, and
Yeah.
when I switch to follow, it's scary, because I'm giving up control. It's one of the few times in my life where
There
I
you
give up
go.
control
There
to
you go.
someone else. So
Yeah.
definitely scary. I
Yes.
definitely understand that.
Yeah. But when you do the follow often enough, you will
Mhm.
probably learn also that you have your own job to
Oh,
do.
right, 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 right.
Yeah. as long as you hear the music, and if you uh, listen to your leaders, heartbeat, a slight change of directions, the frame change, a slight touch of hand, all that. If you start listening, and you can um, react faster and
Yeah.
faster with time,
Okay. Right.
and you eventually will learn to show your own kind of expression within the limit,
Yeah, I
you
get
know.
that. Yeah, yeah. You start picking up on those small cues, you start noticing
Yes,
them.
yes.
I understand
So
that.
I have this much time, you know, to express my own, kind of unique
Yeah, yeah.
nature. Yeah, without messing up the leader. Yes.
Right, right. I definitely
Yes.
understand that. That's just, the progression as as a dancer, you getting better.
Yeah.
I definitely
Yeah.
understand that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
But you know what? I mean, if you make mistakes, I mean, don't take it so seriously.
all
It's
right.
just
Yeah, yeah.
just a dance. I mean, it's just
Yeah, yeah.
social. Right?
Yeah, we,
Yeah.
we go we go social dancing to have fun, It's to have fun, to
Exactly.
enjoy the night, to enjoy the time, I understand that.
Yeah. So it's nice to have a partner who smiles
That
all
makes
the
the
time.
world a difference. That makes such a big
Oh, you
difference.
know what? I watched Donovan's podcast.
That's a great one. He's awesome.
Donovan Davis, yeah,
Yeah,
the
he's amazing.
young guy.
He was at Houston with us.
Oh yeah, yeah. And when I met Donovan for the first time in Houston, right? He had
Yeah, yeah.
just started dancing
That's what he
Kizomba.
told me. He told me that. He said that was his first social.
Yeah, but I mean, he was great because he was
Right?
always smiling, and he was always watching and paying attention to the follower,
Uh-huh.
even though he said partner dancing was new to him, but he had this great attitude.
Um,
So we just clicked right
yeah,
away, and like, it
yeah.
was so much fun to dance with him, even though he was a beginner. I
So
mean,
true.
and then
Yeah.
look where he is now, right?
Yes. Yeah, he's taxi dancing.
Yeah,
I want to say a couple of things about Donovan. Amazing
yeah,
guy. Um,
yeah.
he was big into hip hop dancing. And
Yes,
so I feel like from that hip hop dancing, it teaches you a lot of body control. So I
right.
think he definitely excels at that.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to say, for both leads and follow,
Mm-hmm.
smiling, it means the world to me personally. It means the world of a difference. It,
Yes,
it portrays that my follow is enjoying my company, which makes it just
right.
the dance so much better. It makes the experience a
Yeah,
lot better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
definitely. I totally agree. Totally. I mean, from what I felt, when your famous instructor is not smiling, he's kind of stiff when he danced with
yeah,
me. They don't give me a great, you
it's a
know, feeling,
experience, right?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas a total beginner can give me a really nice feeling. So it's
Yeah.
up to the person. I mean, what you want to convey to your partner.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's your goal is just to be a great dancer, that will be it. But if you want to be a great dancer and a great social dancer and a great person, there are so many things to learn. I'm
Oh, of
still
course.
learning.
Of
Mm.
course. It's me as
Yeah.
well. Of course. Let me ask you this real quick. What are some lessons from dancing that you've learned that you're able to translate to your everyday life?
I would say acceptance.
Hey.
Yeah. Quenda,
Yeah, yeah.
when I was still in California, he came to California a few times. And each time, he doesn't just teach the dance, but he also teaches kaizen.
I don't know what that is, honestly.
Yeah, kaizen is a Japanese word
Ah,
that means improvement
Okay.
through uh, renovation, right? So it's used in a corporate world too.
okay.
So kaizen. So he does kaizen dance. Through movement, he teaches about people. So he calls it, I think, human engineering.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's so spiritual. He's one of the instructors I felt immediately accepted. You just stand
Okay.
in front of him, and his energy is right there to accept you.
That's awesome. That sounds amazing.
He's very quiet, but that you feel right away.
That's
So
awesome.
that was so shocking, and it was probably the biggest thing I learned, acceptance. And when I didn't feel accepted because of my body size or age or what I was wearing, it didn't feel good. So, I didn't want other people that I dance with to feel not accepted
Right.
just because you don't I don't know them, or just because they are different, or just because they are just beginners. I don't want them to feel that.
Right.
So it's like love thy neighbor,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
Yeah, everybody that you encounter is a neighbor. So I want to feel accepted, and I want other people to feel accepted also.
Yeah. I want to ask you this. Um, and you might not. I don't know. Let me ask you. How how can someone, because what we're talking about is empathy. That's what we're talking about, right? Acceptance. Is
Yes,
being
yes,
empathetic towards your partner. Do
yeah,
you know how is it possible for someone to become more empathetic? Is it possible? How does one practice that? Is it a skill?
yeah, yeah. You can learn. I mean, some people just learn it really early on from their family, right? And some people, even though they have great family, they might be introvert, and they might find it difficult to express any kind of feelings,
Okay.
right? So, and some in certain cultures, um, like in Japan, I would say, especially for women. I mean, Lucia, I was so surprised to hear that Lucia growing up in Portugal, right? I mean, women are the way women are treated
Right.
in
Right.
that society wasn't that different from where
Oh.
I grew up.
Okay.
So it was like, wow.
Okay.
So it's like empathy. You can learn it, and there are, if you don't think you have enough, but the thing is that the people who do not have much empathy don't know it
Okay. Sure enough.
unless unless they are told
Ah. Right. Right.
by
Right.
somebody who really cares about you, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then once somebody, anybody tells you that, you don't really try, you are not really understanding what I'm trying to say to you or how I feel, or you don't want to listen to my feelings. If
Right.
anybody has told you that, it's not the end of it. You know, there are so many things that you can learn. Oh,
Yeah.
going back to Kwenda, I mean, I took many, many Kaizen classes from Kwenda, and then he goes through many drills. But one of them was to bring this essence oil, right? So you just take anybody in the class, Kaizen class, and wash their feet.
Oh wow, so you watch somebody else's feet.
Yes,
That's
that
crazy.
makes you humble.
That does definitely.
Yeah. And then another, it wasn't in the Kaizen class, I think it was in his regular Kizomba class. He put all these people, all his students in the workshop into different groups, right?
Uh huh.
And he would ask each group, okay, who is a beginner student of Kizomba? And then somebody will raise hand, right? And then Kwenda would say, okay, so that person who just raised the hand will be the leader of the group.
Okay.
So, I mean, the beginners, what? They panic. But the thing is that we do, I mean, the respect toward that person shouldn't have anything to do with the level
Of their
of the
talent.
dance.
Right, 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 right.
Right? So we help the beginner person, and that at the end of that session, the beginner person feels that he or she is supported by
Yeah.
all these people in the group. He gets confidence, and the more experienced dancers in the group have empathy toward the beginner because, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I was like that once,
That's so true. Yeah.
So there are so many exercises that you can go through if you have ever been told that, oh, you don't try to understand my feelings, you don't have any empathy, it's not the end of the world. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I definitely understand that. And I
Yeah.
like that. I like those exercises you pointed out. They're very nice. They sound amazing.
Yeah.
I wanna let me ask you this. For for a beginner
Yeah.
who feels like they're stuck in a beginner's rut,
Right.
what advice can you give them to help with that?
uh, I would say keep going to a class, you and go to as many socials as possible, and learn from your mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah, learn from your mistakes. And if somebody says, oh, you're not good enough, and then you don't have to dance with that person yeah, again.
Simple as
I
that.
mean, dance with somebody who accepts you, you
Right,
know.
right, right.
And as long as you keep going to local classes and keep practicing through socials, and also, I mean, YouTube is a great thing. I mean, when I was
Yeah.
growing up, I that didn't exist,
YouTube is
right?
so amazing. It's so helpful.
Yeah, yeah. So you can learn so many things, and if you just grab your friend, hey, can I practice this with you? I mean, all these things help. But
Yeah.
don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
I
Simple
mean,
as
if
that.
you like the dance, if you like the music, if you like the history of the dance, keep doing it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you will learn eventually. I mean, you don't have to become a teacher. I mean, nobody. I mean, not everybody becomes a teacher,
Uh-huh.
anyways.
Yeah.
So if you just want to dance, you know, uh, there are so many things that you can do even from home. Yeah,
Yeah.
dance practice with the pillow.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Dancing in
Yeah,
the mirror always helps, that always helps.
exactly. Yes, yes.
Let me
So
ask
don't
you
give up. Yeah.
yeah, don't give up. Simple as that. Do not give up. Let me ask you this. What does it take for an intermediate dancer to make it to that advanced level?
Okay, so that's when I think many problems start happening. If you think you are an intermediate student, you might be just the upper, level of a beginner. Yeah,
Okay, sure enough.
actually,
Sure
you
enough.
think many people think they know a lot already. So
Okay.
that's when progress stops. So
Yes, yeah.
uh, go back to your basics. I mean, uh, i- when I was learning kizomba or bachata or salsa, um, and if there is a mini class before a social, I always, I mean, even if somebody else is teaching that
Yeah, uh-huh.
mini class, I will join and do the basics.
Okay.
You know, it's so important to go back to the basics. And even the basics, it might be slightly different from one instructor to another, and it doesn't hurt to be exposed to different instructors. And okay, oh, I can do this. Yeah, I learned it this way, but I can do this way too, maybe, and then go back to maybe YouTube and then
Right,
watch
right.
these masters and oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's doing it this way, But be humble. I would say the biggest advice for intermediate students is to be
Oh,
humble.
okay, that's a big
Humble.
one.
Oh yeah, go
That's a
back to
big
the
one.
basics all the time, and and there's always somebody better than you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so true. So
yeah.
true.
And
Let me.
be kind. Yeah. So somebody else was talking about empathy, right? One of your guests.
Yeah, 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 definitely.
Yeah, empathy. That's so important. I mean, when you think you are good at certain dance, you might start losing that empathy
Yeah.
because you are focused on learning how to dance better, right? Improve yourself. But in that process, you might, not everybody, but you might stop thinking about, oh, how does my partner feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
try to show off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's so true.
yeah,
Let me ask you this.
yeah,
Can you give me one tip
yeah.
that can make someone a better dancer immediately?
Immediately. Oh, I would say if you focus on kizomba, for instance, right? Listen to the music all the time. Listen, listen, listen. Get familiar with the music, and you start hearing a lot of different elements in the music, and then you start learning about phrasing
Mm.
of the music. You start the rhythm. You
Start
start
noticing the
different
patterns.
instruments. Yeah, and of course, if you Google, uh, I mean, you can always or if you speak to your Portuguese speaking friends, they can translate the
Yeah.
lyrics for you,
Okay. Yeah,
and
that helps
you have
too.
a better understanding of a particular song. I mean,
Right.
there's a big, misunderstanding of how come this, great kizomba dancer knows when to hit that special spot, with a special movement,
Right, right,
right?
right, right.
It's no secret that they listen to music all the time, so
That's what
they
it
probably
is.
they know. I mean, certain people, even when they hear some piece of music for the first time, because of the phrasing and all that, they can, guess
Yeah,
what's next. But
exactly.
that's I would say a smaller percentage. And the most great dancers and leads know the music.
Simple as that. And I
So
think
if
that's
you
so
can
true.
hear anything, YouTube, uh, I mean, not YouTube. Yeah, you watch your YouTube videos, and there are so many YouTube videos on, that explains what's the difference between samba and the kizomba and the zouk. What's the rhythm, difference, all that. So you can learn so much.
Yeah, no, that's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, uh, but until then, you keep dancing, even if you're offbeat.
Yeah.
Keep dancing.
He does it. Yeah, that's exactly
You'll
so true.
eventually get it. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, you just get better. You get better at it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if you are a perfectionist, you might think that, oh, no, I cannot do the social until I become better. That's not true.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sergio said it in his episode. He said, I don't remember the last time I had a perfect dance. And I was like, that's so true.
Oh, it depends on, oh, you mean technically?
Yeah, exactly. Like where he didn't make a mistake is what he said.
Yeah, yeah.
She
But,
always trying to have fun. But yeah,
yeah, but, he can say that. But from the empathy point of view, he is 100% correct all the
yeah.
time
Okay.
because he accepts you. He
Sure
has
enough.
empathy. He
Yeah.
wants to have fun with you
Mhm.
during the 3 minutes
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
dance. So from that point of view, he cannot make mistakes.
I let him know
Yeah,
you said that. I definitely let him
yeah.
know. um,
So like technical mistakes are nothing really during social. Yeah.
I wanna I wanna thank you, Mayumi, for taking time out today to talk to me. I
Oh,
really
you're so welcome.
yeah, I really do appreciate that. I want to ask you, tell me, what are some of the upcoming events you have going on in your life? What do you have going on?
Okay, so I found this tiny Kizomba community in Nashville,
Okay,
Tennessee.
okay.
Yes, so I've been going there, and I'll be having a showcase, dance showcase in June. It's
Okay.
not in Kizomba, but I'll be doing a showcase. But I'm thinking of starting Kizomba class, weekly class,
In
or
Tennessee.
even meetup in Clarksville because I don't
Okay.
actually live in Nashville.
Ah,
It's outside of Nashville, so it's like
okay.
1 hour away. So it would be more convenient to have my own,
Yeah, and you could
community
easily teach that.
participating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now again, some of your female guests were saying that it's not easy for a female instructor to teach alone, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I will. It's gonna be a challenge, but I mean, starting from the basics that I can do. Yes.
Yeah, it'll be a great opportunity for you to grow the community. You'll see the
Yeah.
impacts you're having.
Yeah.
So that'll be
It's
a good
it's
opportunity.
a great community. I live in Clarksville, Tennessee, and it's a great community, and it's growing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I think you should definitely do that. I want you to do that. Definitely. It's
Yes.
not gonna be easy, but it'll be so worth it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cause then,
Yeah.
cause then you'll have You said it's a small community. But you can build it up to that big community that you want, and that only leads to more dancing opportunities for yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: um, How can people get in contact with you? If they live in Clarksville and they want to, start up going to the start class with you, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, I still have to create a meetup account or
Okay.
something and advertise it, and then I haven't done the advertisement yet.
Okay, I
So
understand.
through this dance community that I know, that I belong to in Clarksville, I will start, talking to them.
Nice.
Yes, and probably through Facebook
That's probably the easiest way to do
to
it. How can people find
eventually.
you on Facebook? How
Yes,
can people find you on Facebook?
it's well, you can contact me through Facebook. I'm Mayumi K Mayumi.
Okay.
So Mayumi space and capital K and without space again Mayumi
Uh,
Mayumi.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is when I want to upload this video to YouTube and everything, I'm gonna put your contact info all in the page so people can find you. All right.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, of course, of course. Like I said, Mayumi, um, I wanna thank you so much for coming on my show. And I've already told you plenty of times, but you are easily, one of my favorite followers. So I had to have you on the show. I had to have you on.
Oh, thank
Of
you.
course, of
Oh,
course, of
you're
course.
so great.
um, I want to ask, do you have any final words before we wrap this up, Mayumi?
um, no. Oh, just keep dancing.
Simple as that.
Keep
As simple
dancing.
as that. That's a great way to
Yeah.
end it.
Yeah, through all the phases of your life, keep dancing if you like
Dancing.
it.
Keep
Yeah.
dancing. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like I said, thank you so much, Mayumi. I want you to have enjoy the rest of your day, please.
Thank you. You too.
Hey, all right, Mayumi, take it easy.
Bye bye.
Hey everyone, if you made it this far to all to the end of the video, I want to thank you so much. Um, my overall goal with making these interviews and these episodes is to give a voice to dancers. To give them a platform to speak their story. So, if this is of value to anyone, then that means the world to me. My overall goal is to give value to the dance community. So, if you find no value in this, then I urge you to please let me know where I can improve on. Um, I I truly want to, just uh, give value and content to the dance community. So please let me know how I can improve, where I'm messing up, because to be 100% honest with you, I'm learning along the way as I do this. I truly am. So to be able to interact with the dance community, it means the world to me because it gives me feedback and it lets me know what I'm doing right, where I can improve upon. What I'm doing wrong, which I feel like might maybe more important. So please, if you all could comment and just let me know what you think, it means the world to me because that feedback just helps me improve. So um, please comment as well. Please like and subscribe. That means a lot as well. But I want to say thank you so much for just watching this because it means the world to me. I want to take you on this journey of the Two Left Feet podcast. I'm very excited for it. So once again, thank you so much.
Exactly.
um, what about all the stuff that can kill you down there? Did that affect you at all?
Yeah, there's. I mean, when I was little, we lived on a very like a farming area, and there's lots of snakes and spiders and things like that. But
Right.
it's yeah, it's okay. It's kind of normal, and nothing killed us, so we're all
So
still
you made
here.
it this far.
Yeah, exactly. But when you get in the city, you don't really get any of that anyway. Um,